Hi everyone and welcome back. Now the last video I did was about highlighting. This is the reverse. This is about contouring. So this is making shadows in the skin rather than bouncing the light and drawing attention to areas in your face. Okay, I'm going to do it in a very, very simple way for you. There's various different products you can use for contouring. You don't necessarily have to buy a contour product. There was such an explosion of contour a few years back, and cosmetics companies were going wild and bringing out all these products. But in reality, contour's been there forever, and you can do it really with anything. The idea is a contour powder or cream or whatever it is they use for it tends to have a very cool tone rather than a warm tone like a bronzer, because if you think of a shadow on your skin, it's like a shadow's kind of got a grey tinge, really, hasn't it? So that's really what you're trying to achieve, shadow. So if you use anything too warm, it's not going to be very effective. So I'm going to show you an example of a couple. I actually use bronzer to contour, but it's quite a cool tone, it's not too orangey. Now this is a very typical contour shade. This is by Kevin O'Quan. I don't know how it looks on camera. To me it's a very cold brown. It's almost got a greyish tinge to it. What else have I got here? This is just a bronzer. Nothing fancy, simple bronzer. And this is a contour kit. So you might see these. This is it's really like the contour shade, the highlight shade, and a matte highlight shade. That's all it is really. Some kits you get, it's got several different shades of contour, which is great for professional use. But if it's just for yourself, it's pointless. So I think I'll use the professional contour set, and I'll show you what kind of brushes to use. Now you've got a few options. Something shaped like this, which is like a smaller version of a powder brush. This one here, that is, you know, it's like a flatter. The flatter brush, it's kind of like a chiselling brush. The idea of this is it goes right under the cheekbone and you get a very precise line. And then you've got this one. It's a rounded end brush. It's almost like a big contouring or blending brush for the eyes. It's just a bigger version, and again that's to fit right under the cheekbones. And that's not the only place we contour. We go along the jawline, sometimes down the nose, of course in the outer corners of the eyes, and some people contour around the hairline, and that's another thing that's been a bit of a trend and not really for the right reasons. But I'll get to that. So first thing you're going to do, I think we'll use this one because it matches my top. There we are. Okay, so that wasn't planned, just happened that way. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to look in the mirror and you are going to look for the hollows in your skin, right? The hollows in your face, not your skin. Okay, so I've got my wee handheld mirror here. Oh, I must say, I've got no eye makeup on today because, stupidly, I sat up last night and I didn't take my makeup off. I just got tired all of a sudden and I went straight to bed, and I never do that, but I did, and now I've got really kind of sore eyes, and that'll probably be there for a couple of days, but never mind. So you're going to pick a little bit up in the brush and take off the excess in the back of your hand. Look for the hollows in the cheeks. Now, something to remember, the hollows in my cheeks are here. They're quite obvious in my face. They're not everyone has that kind of face shape. Some people are more rounded in the cheeks, but if that's the case, just suck in the cheeks and you'll see an obvious line, and that is where you're aiming for. But don't bring it too far down here, because what that will do is it'll hollow that area, and that's quite aging, so we don't want to do that. Okay. Keep quite a light touch. Don't press it in too hard. Now can you see that building up? And this is a kind of, I would do some contour, then I would do some blush, and then maybe a bit of highlighter, and then I would kind of buff them together. So when you're applying this for the first time, don't all of a sudden think, okay, it looks like a big dirty mark, I'm going to have to take it all off. Just kind of bear with the process. Okay, that's enough. In fact, I'm going to leave the other side and I'm going to let you see the difference. Now we're going to go under the jaw a little bit. Now you can see the, excuse me, you can see the reason I'm doing that. It's just to give a more snatched appearance. I've still got this stupid plate in my mouth, which is hopefully coming out in about 2 weeks. Okay, and then here's the thing with the forehead. If you have a really large forehead, especially one that kind of curves back, I can completely see why you'd want to contour here, because what a contour is going to do is it's going to shorten that area. Okay, so you're going to create a shadow here that's going to take all this area away and make it look much more reduced. My forehead isn't large, so if I was to contour around here, it would make this area look even smaller. Not good in my face shape, because I think my face is probably quite round. The last thing I want to do is shorten it. If anything, I want to elongate it. So I'd ignore my forehead. If you're wanting to add a bit of colour there, a dusting of bronzer is it. That's all you need. Now, if you're going to contour your nose, which I'm not going to do, well, I could show you. All you're going to do, if you've got quite a wide nose, is you're going to try and create a shadow here and here, which in turn will make your nose look slimmer. So here goes. You see that shadow? Okay, now at this stage it looks a little bit unnatural, but I'm going to fix that. Okay, so now I've got the contour on, I'm going to move on to blush. This is a NARS blush, and this is lovely for the spring. It is their best seller, and I thought it'd match my top, and the shade is Orgasm. Yeah, that's the shade. I guess the idea behind that is it gives you a lovely flush in your cheeks. So, similar brush, and I'm aiming for the higher point of the cheekbone. Now you can see what that's done. It's starting to lift this area, give it more dimension, more shape, and obviously the blush blends into the contour and stops it looking so obvious. I'm going to add some highlighter, and that goes higher again. And down the centre of the nose. And you can see how that's making my nose look more. And then I've just give it a wee blend. And there we have it. Very, very, very simple contouring. There's really nothing more to it. You're just facing the mirror, looking for the natural shadows and exaggerating them. It is that simple. The good thing, a good thing to remember is always be using a soft bristled brush. Anything that's too firm will grab too much, which is great in some circumstances, but not in contouring, because you want to build up gradually. So a soft, fluffy brush so you can gradually build up the intensity, and just use your eye, keep looking, make sure you're in good light, and you'll just know when it's the time to stop. And if you feel like you've built enough up, do the rest of your makeup and see how it blends. Add a bit of blush, and then at the very end, if you feel it's all just a wee bit too heavy, get some powder, whatever powder it is you're using, and buff your entire face. So you're kind of going to do this. from a wee brush bag here. Brush kind of like this, and you're going to just buff the whole thing. And it blends it seamlessly together. So I hope you can see there's a difference between one side, not much definition, and the other side. Especially good in really dim lighting. It's really, really effective. So again, thank you very much for watching. If you could please press the subscribe button and hit the bell to be notified anytime I upload a new video, and I will see you the next time. Bye now.